am Weston. I love talking about the Rangers, and I'm here to recap Game 43 of the regular season. Rangers over the Devils. Igor Shesterkin with the shutout. I have the wrong notes. Oh, wait. It happened again? Like, the second time in a row. Huh. Who'da thunk? I'm here to recap Game 43. Igor Shesterkin with a second consecutive shutout of the same team for the first time for the Rangers since 1955. Which... neither of my parents were born at that time, and my grandparents on both sides were in their teens when that happened last. So it's been a hot minute since that's happened for the Rangers, which is crazy. So into the recap, right? First period, Igor Shesterkin gets the start early in the first period. 19:13 left. So almost immediately, right? 47 seconds in. Paneran has it. He carries in. He passes it off to Mika Zibanejad, who came rushing in off the bench. He carries it to the net. He gives a little pass over to Blackwell. I don't know if it was trying to be a pass or like a weird shot on goal, but it was over to Blackwell. A little bit of a weak one, so Blackwell can't quite take a shot on it. He passes it to Trouba. Trouba snipes. 1-0 Rangers like that. Fantastic start. The Rangers wanted to get a good start in this game. Like, you want to get a good start in every game, that goes without saying, but they did really well getting up quick in this one. 18:24 left. Buchnevich took a penalty for high sticking. I believe we gave up 3 penalties tonight. I could be wrong, but our penalty kill didn't give up anything. Well, you know, that happens in a shutout. So that penalty doesn't really affect anything. 13:21, Paneran gets the puck. He passes it over to Buchnevich to carry on in. Or Blackwell, excuse me, to carry in to the zone. He passes along the boards. Tries to get it over to me because of Zibanejad. That doesn't really work. Adam Fox gets it instead. Fox passes it over to Paneran. Paneran with a perfect setup to Ryan Lingrid. Ryan Lingrid snipes for the second goal of the game for the Rangers, but his first in almost 100 games. It's been a hot minute since Ryan Lingrid has had a score, but he might not be much of an offensive player, but he is just such a good complement to Adam Fox on that defensive pairing. Anyway, 8 minutes left in the period. Lingard with a pretty nice defensive play to break up a pass that was right in front of the net. So he has it. He clears it over to Colin Blackwell. Colin Blackwell clears it over to Strome, who gets a 2-on-1 with Paneran. And this was a beautiful play, because Strome and Paneran streaking in on a 2-on-1. Strome goes all the way to the net, then passes back to Paneran, who stopped on a dime to open up a passing lane. Because in between the two of them, like perfectly, was a Devils defender. And then about another 10, 15 feet back was another Devil. Paneran stopped in the perfect spot to open up a beautiful passing lane. He gets it and just absolutely obliterates it, buries it. 3-0 Rangers like that. He basically just said, I am going to shoot this, you cannot stop me, and then did it. Beautiful, beautiful goal by Paneran, and a beautiful setup by Ryan Strome to get that going. Just, boy, that's a fantastic duo we have there on that line. 2:55 left. Kravtsov took a penalty for slashing. Not the only time I'm going to talk about him tonight, sadly. And that was it for the first period. It was a fantastic period for the Rangers. Dare I say the best first period we've played this season? It was really good. Aside from the 2 penalties, but that really wasn't bad. We had 3 goals to go up 3-0. I think we only allowed 3 shots on goal for the first 10 minutes of the period. I think in total it was 7 for the first period. But overall, just dominant by the Rangers. In the second period, 14:58 left in the period. Jack Hughes, brother of Quinn Hughes, catches Miller sleeping on a play, gets around him, gets a really good shot on goal, but Shesterkin shuts it down, keeps it 3-0. Again, he didn't face a lot of shots tonight, but he still had a really good game for Igor. I'll get into that a little bit later, like I said. 14:28, slashing by McLeod. So the Rangers get a power play. We wouldn't do anything with it because our power play is awful. 7:09, Blackwell carries into the zone. He takes a shot, rebounded to Strome. He sets up a beautiful pass for a tip-in attempt for Paneran, and Paneran just basically says, a tip-in, and then obliterates it. He buried that puck to make it 4-0, which would be the final score, which we didn't think for a second. And then a little bit later, at 3:29, Mika Zibanejad broke for a bit of a breakaway, and then Jack Hughes trips him. I almost said Quinn Hughes again for a Rangers power play, and we wouldn't do anything with it because, say it with me, our power play is bad. And so the Rangers play maybe not as good of a second period as the first, but that we were still up 4-0 at this point. Like, we still scored a goal and didn't allow anything. So complaining about the second period not being as good as the first is like complaining that you found $20 because of that same spot the week ago, you found a 50. You still found 20 free bucks. Be happy with what you have. A good second period by the Rangers. In the third period, 9:48. Okay, this part of the game, right? Buchnevich has it. He carries in. By the way, I like the Buchnevich, Mika Zibanejad, and Vitaly Kravtsov line a lot. I hope we keep it like that. So he carries in. Gives it to Vitaly Kravtsov. Snipes. First goal of his career. Beautiful play. But hold up! Offside review. And it's offside. Really? I don't know how that was offside. I saw the replay. And, like, watching it in real time, I thought to myself, ooh, that could be offside. And then I watched the replay, I'm like, oh, cool, it's not. And they reviewed it so quickly, I'm like, ah, cool, we're good. You know, that's not an offside. We're good. Wipe our hands. Oh, it is? Really? We're calling that offside. Is it because Buchnevich deked the puck? Was that it? Is that why you're calling it offside? He deked the puck? The puck, he carried it in to the zone. He carried it into the offensive zone. It was on the blue line. He follows it in, and then moves it around on the blue line. It never went out of the blue line. I don't understand how that was called offside. Like, it blows my mind. So, wipes away his first career goal, and he had the reaction of, ah, cool. So, yeah, that is a thing that happened. 7:56. 3 really good chances for the Devils right in front of the zone. All of the shots, if I'm not mistaken, were taken from the blue paint or right around there. And Shesterkin just stopped them all. A fantastic little flurry by Igor Shesterkin, who, again, you know, not as busy as the other evening, but still a very good game for him. At 4:30, there was interference for Kreider. I don't know why. That was, like, okay. Was it interference? Yes. Was it interference that the NHL officials usually call? Definitely not. That usually happens all the time. It's usually, unless it's, like, egregious, that usually just goes off without a hitch, so I don't know why they've penalized him for it. Again, it didn't matter. You know, Igor Shesterkin kept the shutout, but I really didn't understand why that was a penalty. But that was it. That was it for the game. Ends after that. A 16-save shutout for Igor Shesterkin. Back-to-back shutouts. For the first time that has happened since 2016 by Antti Ranta, and the first time of back-to-back shutouts against the same opponent by a goaltender since, like I said, 1955. Which is just, that's crazy that it's been over half a century since that's happened. Like, that's absurd. So again, like I said, 16 saves, that's not huge. Not all shutouts are created equal, right? Like, was he as good tonight as he was the other evening? It's hard to say. Like, it's hard to say because he wasn't as busy. Was he fantastic tonight? And did he allow any goals? No. Was he as busy as the other evening? And did he have as many, like, OMG highlight reel saves? Also no. But it was still a shutout. Like, I'm not going to complain about that. Igor Shesterkin, man. This guy's the real deal. And I'm ecstatic about it. On to the actual skaters. Timmy Paneran. Would you look at that? 2 goals and an assist in the first period. Or excuse me, not in the first period, but I mean, you almost expect it with Artemi Panarin at this point. Like, he is such a good player. Since coming to the Rangers, so like since the start of the 1920 season, he trails only Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl for 3-point games since then. Those are the only 2. And those 2 play on the line with each other, which pretty much means anytime one of them has it, the other one has it. So, like, this is absurd. Artemi Panarin is shaping up to be the best free agent acquisition the Rangers have ever made. And again, this is just the second year of his 7-year deal. So we have him for the next 5 years after the season is over. This wasn't even like a little short-term thing where we're bringing him in for a little bit. We have him for a while. And man, I am ecstatic to see what the future holds for Artemi Panarin in this Rangers franchise. By the way, did you guys see the quote where he said he is 99% happy and he will only be 100% happy when the Rangers win the Stanley Cup? how can you not love the guy? How can you not be excited when he says stuff like that, man? Or Timmy Paneran. And he probably could have had a hat trick, by the way, if he didn't just decide to give up, like, halfway through the second period and be like, nah, I'll pass. I'll give it to other guys to give opportunities. Because, again, our Timmy Paneran, fantastic player, super unselfish. Ryan Lindgren gets on the board for the first time with a goal in almost 100 games. That's absurd. It's been a while since Ryan Lindgren has scored. Now, with that said, that almost makes it sound like Lindgren is a bad player. He is a perfect defensive pairing with Adam Fox. They run one of the tightest, like, defensive duos in the league. They're fantastic. Like, I'm ecstatic with that. Lindgren is a very good defender and would probably be on our first defensive pairing, like, regardless, even if he wasn't super best friends with Fox. And obviously want to keep them together. But, like, even if Fox wasn't on the Rangers in that horror world, he's still probably the first pair defenseman. It's probably either him and Miller or him and Trouba. Speaking of the line mate, or the pair mate for Ryan Lindgren, Adam Fox. Assist tonight, leads all NHL defensemen in assists and in points. I think it's kind of a given at this point that he's going to make the All-Star, or like one of the last four All-Star teams, so the top two teams. It's sort of a given. Like, he's unreal. He's playing an insane year. I honestly think he's probably going to make first-team All-Star. I think he's going to be nominated for the Norris, if I had to guess right now. And he is just... The Rangers have so many good young players. It's so exciting. Speaking of young players, Colin Blackwell, unsung hero, 3-point night, all assists, career high. Colin Blackwell, man. Is he going to be a top-line player or a second-line player for his career? Probably not. But is he going to be a darn good third to fourth liner for the rest of his career? I easily can see it. And this was just a fantastic game by him. And finally, Vitaly Kravtsov. That was a goal. I'm sorry. That was a goal. It was a beautiful shot. And the fact that they said, no, that wasn't a goal, that was offsides. Come on, man. Really? Like, that was kind of bad. In my opinion. So that was it. That was it for the game. Rangers win pretty easily. Like, they put the foot on the pedal early and then just kind of cruised after the first period. Fantastic game. Probably the best defensive game for the Rangers all season. Like I said, only 16 shots given up. And we will play the Devils again Saturday at 12:30 Eastern Time. And like I said going into the series, it wasn't really a series, but into this 4-game stretch, if you want to make the playoffs and you want to be taken very seriously, you got to win at least 3 of the 4. And I would say get at least 6 to 7 points. They're 4 for 4 so far for points, and 2 for 2 in the games, which is all I could have hoped for. And Igor Shesterkin hasn't given up a goal to them yet, which is, that just puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Anyway, so that is it. Thank you all so very much for watching. I want to say 2 things briefly. One, I'm sorry for the congested sounding again. It still bothers me. I'm still not feeling well. Hopefully, this is the last video that I make sounding like I have a sock shoved up my nose. Hopefully, tomorrow's Astros recap, I'll sound normal again. And speaking of tomorrow, it's very likely that tonight I hit 200 subscribers and 10,000 views. Which is absurd. Because I said those are the marks I wanted to hit by the All-Star break. So, like, early July. And they're already about to happen, which is crazy. I'm 1 sub away, and I think, like, 30 views away, which is insane. And I'm going to thank you guys profusely in tomorrow's video, assuming I hit both of those. So that is all I have to say for this game. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Rangers.